Okay, so today we're going to talk about 3 poses that you can do every day to help you have a healthier spine, healthier back, specifically the low back. So if you're like me, I have low back pain. So I need to do things not only to stretch my back, but also to strengthen it so that it continues to support me. So we're going to do those 3 poses. The first pose we're going to do gives you a little bit of a release. So I'm sitting on this Zafu here. So one little bonus tip is if you're sitting on the floor and you do have low back pain, have something that brings your hips up. But my first pose is going to be a yogi squat, malasana. So we're going to start from standing here. And I'll give you a few adjustments that you can do to make the pose a little more comfortable for you. So we're going to, for those adjustments, you'll need possibly a blanket and possibly a block. So we're just going to have those available. And then we're just going to have the feet more than hip width apart. Let's reach the arms up overhead and fold forward. Good. So we're going to have your hands on the floor for support, bend the knees and come all the way down. So it's very common. I see people just not able to get their heels down. So we're going to work on that, but let me show you the full pose. So to start here, you can keep the hands on the floor for support until you have things situated. Then bring your hands together. And then we're going to press up tall. So I'm going to show you how my back rounds. And what we want to work toward is making the back nice and straight. And you will feel this into the hips. Now, if you're having trouble getting your hips down, what you can do is take a blanket and you can put it under your heels. So we're going to put it under the heels. And that way you can ground into the heels and you might feel more comfortable leaning back. Good. So if heels are your issue, that's a great way to go. Nice. We're going to bring the hands down, press the hips up. So if heels are less the problem, but your hips are more the problem, or your knees, then you might want to try the block. So we're going to put the block here, and then we're going to bend the knees and squat down onto the block. So you just sit on the block. Then it will help you. You're up a little bit higher. I wouldn't go the highest setting on the block, but a medium setting is perfect. And that will still give you that hip opener. We're going to press the knees back, but hug them into the arms, press the arms into the legs, back still straight. Good, perfect. Bring the hands down. Let's press those hips up. Set that block aside. Come all the way up. Good. So the second pose we're going to do is going to be plank. Now, plank is not just a yoga pose, but it is a great pose for strengthening the back without making it too tight. We're going to have this blanket here to pad the knees. You don't need a blanket, but if you do need to keep your knees down, a blanket can make this much more comfortable. So I'm going to show you a few modifications, but we're going to start with a regular plank pose. Belly in, lift the knees. Good. And then we're going to notice the hips because they tend to want to raise up. We're going to bring them in line with the hips and shoulders. Good. And then where you want to be pressing is through the shoulder blades. So you want to think about the shoulder blades sliding out to the sides toward your arms. And if you need to, let's put those knees down, but we're still pressing through the arms. You're still pulling the belly in. Good. And then notice the hips. See if you can bring them forward, but to make it more manageable, feel free to bring them back. Good. So the first modification I showed you here was setting the knees down. But what if your wrists are bothering you? If you don't like your wrists in this pose, that's okay. We got you covered. We're going to place the elbows on the floor. Okay. You can interlace your fingers or have your palms down. Your choice. Just do which one feels the most comfortable for you. And then we're going to straighten the legs. Good. We bring those hips in line. We're still pressing through the shoulder blades, belly in. You'll notice it feels just a little different. Breathe. Very important. And always set the knees down with this as well. You just make sure those hips are in line and their hips aren't dropping. We want them to still be lifted so the abs are working. Good. Nice. So over time, you can work your way up to 30 seconds, then work your way up to a minute. The more you do it, the stronger your back will become. You will feel less pain. You'll be able to stand longer. So we're going to do one more pose. This one, the plank targeted your abs, your shoulders, and your low back. But this one's going to target your glutes. We're going to do this one strong. This one's not going to be the passive version. We're going to do it nice and strong. Okay, so we're going to come down onto your back. And let's just take a breath here. We just did plank. It's kind of a lot of work. Now we're targeting the glutes and the back of the legs. While a lot of people who have low back issues do need a stretch in your low back or in your legs to open the low back, most people have they have a weak back and a tight back. So we still want to grow some strength, and that's what this pose is about. So we're going to walk the feet in as close as you can. And the first version is we're going to just tuck those shoulders underneath you as much as possible. And we're going to inhale, lift the hips up. Good. You can line your hands up with your heels. Engage your glutes. Engage your hamstrings. Engage the tops of your legs, the quads. Press your feet down so you feel the whole leg working. Good. Let's lower down. Now, if your back is really tight, going up high is not going to feel good. So we're just going to go up a little bit this time. We're going to inhale, lift the hips up. We don't even have to tuck the shoulders to get the benefit. Just engage the glutes, engage the legs. Strengthening the legs and lower down. Now I like to do a little series with this. So we're going to inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower. Walk the feet forward about a foot or so. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Walk the feet forward. One more foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Rest for a moment. We're going to do that long one again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Walk the feet back in about a foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then walk the feet in all the way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. So these are 3 poses that really help release and strengthen the back. So this is for the long-term health of your spine. I will do a future video. If you'd like to see it, just let me know in the comments, but I plan on doing a future video where I'm doing 3 good stretches to release the low back. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. If you have a pose that works great for you to open the low back or to strengthen it, let me know. I'd love to know about it, and maybe I'll make a video about it in the future. So have a great day. Namaste.